So I'm making this video because I've been on my dread journey now for 6 months. I know when people sort of start, thinking about whether they want dreads or not, you can do a lot of research, like looking at YouTube channels and seeing what happens, like the process that you go through, and also like how to look after them and stuff. So I'm just making this video, throwing it out there, just to show my experience and what's happened to my hair, so they might know what to expect or what not to expect. And maybe if you're already dreading your hair, you can like compare and see whether your hair looked the same at this stage, or you can tell me how to make it look better. So yeah, I will have to move my normal hair. So some of them are like just long and normal, and then other ones are like really like chunky, and that one's got like a massive, what is going on there? A massive thing on it. Some of my ones near the base of my neck are very, very short, and I think this is because the hair was like quite wispy, and it wasn't damaged, but it's always been very knotty and wiry from like the hair, like it's like started folding upwards, like as if it was trying to blunt the end. It's amazing because like that's how long my hair was, and now look how short. So I'll clip this up and I'll try and just show you the dreads themselves. Alright, so I've now got my top layer in a bit of a bun, and you can see just the dreadlocks. And I think this is sort of one of the things that makes people upset about partial dreads, is that they can become very mature and really nice and you really love them and you've got your beads on them, and then you put the top layer of your hair down and no one can see them, so then you add more and then you add more, and then you end up just with a whole head of dreads, which is pretty much what happened to me, because I've got all of these dreads. I've not counted how many, but I think there's at least 30. I think there's probably about 40 to be honest. And really only recently, maybe in the last month, so maybe at either 4 or 5 months, have you only just been able to notice them in my hair. So I've also noticed in the last couple of months I now cannot tie my hair back with a normal hairband. I'm using like this piece of elastic. I think it's intended to be like a hairband. I got it from Boots. But it works like really good, like just doubled over like that, I can like tie my hair back. So I'll show you now. So like here's like a really short one, and like the bead is caught in the middle. But then I've got like these really thin ones, and I think I did some of these too tight because they haven't been able to loosen, so I don't feel like they've been able to dread, so that really is just like a load of knots. But I don't want to take it out because what if it does dread? So I'm just going to leave it. So there's another short one, like the ends are going back. And then this is definitely one of the oldest ones that I did, and I did this one like in my top layer. And I thought when I first created it, so this is something to be aware of, when I first created it you couldn't see it in my top layer at all, it was like really well hidden, but then it developed this massive loop in it, bigger than it is now, and then it got like another one on the bottom, and like when I just had my hair normal it just looked like I had an enormous knot in my hair. It looked pretty silly, and then when I tie my hair back it would have like a lump. So only because when you first make it, you can't see it, doesn't mean that in a while like it won't be visible. And then these ones, these are like right at the back of my head, so I presume maybe when I sleep or something it's getting like all tangled, and that just amazes me. And there's 2 of them, or maybe 3 of them like this right next to each other, and they're just really I mean, look how short it is in comparison to, you know. But yeah, lots and lots of loops. I think the loops started about maybe 3 months, but it's difficult to tell because I just did them over like a long period of time. I've completely forgotten which ones are new. I think these ones are newer, these ones near the top. Let's have a look at the other side. On this side there's a braided one. On this side there's a lot more fat ones. I did a couple like a bit bigger than I sort of had planned, but I actually really like these fat ones because they're like sort of squishy and cuddly and stuff. But yeah, and then that one's got this enormous thing in it. I'll show you the back in a minute. So yeah. So that is them. And I think it's really good to log what you've been doing, because I didn't think they had changed, and then I started looking at some of the pictures I took in the beginning and I realised that they have actually got a lot fatter. So yeah, I have been taking like pictures and videos as I've been going along, and I will be uploading like a sort of timeline video, but I'm just working out how to edit it at the moment. So that'll be coming up soon. So I started off with just a couple twist and rip dreadlocks in the bottom layer of my hair. It wasn't actually the bottom layer, I left a small bit of normal hair so that when I tied my hair up I could cover it. But after a couple of weeks this bit of normal hair actually started to dread itself, so I just let it. And I slowly added more and more dreads to my hair. So now actually my head is half dreaded. So I started in December and I didn't brush my hair from December to March. And then in March I decided just randomly that I would brush my hair, and then I realised, oh no, I've made a massive mistake. And so the top of my hair has not been brushed for 3 months. However, like, I think it looks normal and there's no real dreads forming or anything, but it would probably still be difficult to get a comb through. I did section them when I started because I knew that people had problems, like when they didn't section it would hurt their scalp and things like this. And I also deliberately made some of them quite thin because I knew that as they get older they get thicker, and I didn't want to end up with like really big dreadlocks because they take a long time to dry. I've recently added a lot more beads and a lot more wraps. When I made them first I put like a small, that was a wrap. I put a small like plastic bead on the end of all of them. All of them had like either a purple or a blue plastic bead on the end, and the reason why I did this is because I would make them and then they'd get stuck together and I couldn't remember like whether they were supposed to be together, and I didn't want congos and things like this. So I did that, but I tried not to put too many beads on because, like, as has happened in some of my dreadlocks, like they've like gone all loopy and the bead is like actually like stuck in the middle of the loop. And this isn't really a problem for me because if I want to get it out I'll just like get a hammer and like smash it out. But obviously if it's like made of something like metal, or you know it's like a really precious bead to you or something, then you need to really watch that it doesn't get trapped. So yeah, I recently added a wrap, but I've only done like a sort of open wrap because when I did a solid one I found like it stayed wet for ages and I was really like paranoid that it was not dry. In terms of maintenance, I don't do anything really other than like separating them and washing them, and like occasionally I do that, I think it's called dread balling, and it's like you like go like this or whatever and it sort of creates some knots. So that's all I do. In terms of shampoo, I I switched immediately to Lush shampoo when I started doing this, and I've tried 4 different Lush shampoo bars and also Lush shampoo, and I don't use any conditioner even on the ends, not on my normal hair. I'm thinking of doing like a review video for the 3 different shampoos that I've used, because I've been using them for a long time, so I feel like I can tell you how they work for your dreads, because sometimes it's not like specifically review videos for dreadlocks. So I'm thinking about doing that, so if that would interest you, comment below. So yeah, this is the first video on my channel. I'm probably just gonna do sort of reviews of products that like I haven't been able to find much information about, because I buy like vegan, cruelty-free products and makeup, and sometimes I've like bought things online and like I've had no idea what it's going to be like, and I just want to allow people, you know, like, to hear my opinion like before they purchase it. So if you've got any questions or anything you want to know, ask, or any like video requests, then just let me know, because I don't really know where to start with this. Okay, thank you for watching.